Hello, welcome back to my channel. My name's Eliza and today is the last day of the yarn advent calendar. Yay! What I'm thinking for today is I'm just gonna open the last box of the yarn advent calendar. We will check it out, maybe think of something we're gonna do with it. And then I'm gonna show you all the projects that I started because I didn't really finish much. December 24th. It is Christmas Eve if you celebrate Christmas. It is December 24th if you don't. Either way, we're having a great time with yarn on this channel. Okay, I'm just gonna open it, I guess. I literally just woke up. It is 7:30 in the morning right now. Okay, if you watched last night's video, I was talking about staying up all night and how I was thinking of trying to stay up again. No. Last night was Thursday and the night before was Wednesday. Wednesday, I was like, I'm gonna stay up all night. It didn't work. So last night, I was like, I'm gonna stay up all night. I made it until 12:30 and then I literally got in my bed, went on Instagram, and then I fell asleep. I didn't even pick up my knitting needles. Oh my gosh, it's pink. It's pink. But we don't even need pink anymore because I made a mental plan of like what I'm doing with my Sophie shawl. But actually, I do know what I could save this for. But let's look at all my projects first and then we can decide if this will work with what I'm thinking it could work with. Well, let's look at it. I'm getting ahead of myself. Let's look at it real quick. It's light pink and hot pink. It has like, oh, it has some orange. Where's the orange? Right there. Really pretty. Some green, purple. These are so pretty. I love these potluck yarns. They're all so nice to look at. That's it. That's the tiny little box, the last box in our yarn advent calendar. My yarn advent calendar is like a mess. I'm missing boxes. My cat like chewed up some of the boxes. He's like a chewy cat who will like chew on cardboard and paper and stuff. It's very annoying. I like come home and the box was literally destroyed. He literally destroyed it. Like it was in pieces. Like there was no box left. He doesn't understand that these are special boxes and they all need to be preserved. Anyway, okay. Let's look at what I started. I just have everything here. I don't have it written down, so I'm just gonna go from memory and hopefully I don't forget anything. One of the projects is literally right in front of me. Actually, most of them are on this desk. This is my December bow. This is my December bow. I made this because I thought it would be fast and I thought I could make it in one video, but I didn't have time. This would have been the perfect series for someone who like didn't have anything else to do. Which is what I wish. I wish I didn't have anything else to do. So this is my December bow. I needed to get to 19 inches and then I was like gonna start doing the other side and then I could tie it into a bow basically. And I think maybe it's at like 12. I'm definitely gonna get back to it and I did make it in kind of summery spring colors so it can be a seasonless bow. This was what the advent yarn looked like. It was like orange, lilac, with some yellow tones, and then I held it with this yellow mohair which made it very yellow. Oh, I have one of my advent projects right in front of me. This one was the purple and orange yarn that I was so excited about because I had a lot of other purple and orange yarns in my studio and I started making like panels to stitch together and I did lay them out the other day and I was like planning something and like thinking about what other size panels I could knit, but I was like no. Don't get distracted. Start knitting gifts for people. So I had made this. I had started this panel. Oh my gosh, this is a mess. I'm like showing you half knit things. This was a cable panel. I mean, it still is. I just need to keep knitting it. The cables are here. This is what they look like. So they have a twist, like a double twist, and then they open up into this big shape. And then on the next row, this would suck in. So it would be like a wide, short cable with a double twist, and then one of the twists is a contrast color. Nice idea, right? I just need to follow through. Okay, these were some of the panels. So I did block them and they're still getting a little shrivelly, so I think I'll just have to link them together and then block them again when they're in garment form. So this was the Hedgehog Fibers yarn that I knit on the knitting machine. So pretty, so orange. And then I made this panel. This was like while I was experimenting with the knitting machine, so some of these panels are not very nice looking because the knitting machine's a little broken. This is another sock yarn. It looks like this. It's like orange, yellow, and pink. And I just knit a little panel. This is where it got messy. I tried to knit mohair on the knitting machine. I had this. And I got this swatch, and it was like all the needles kept, the like first needle kept rejecting the stitch. And I was like, I'll just like make it work. I'll just like ignore that when I link it together. And I might still do that because I don't want to waste it. It's like a nice swatch from here on. And then this was actually my test swatch on the knitting machine. It's just a couple rows, but it's in this dark purple, which I think could work with the color scheme. This is like a V shape for the center front body that I knit holding 3 sock yarns together. And I think I knitted on like size 10 needles. So this was like the center, and then I was kind of building off from that. And then the cable panel was going to be like the underarm, and I was going to knit it up and stop in the middle. I still have a plan. I'm still excited to do that. I just couldn't do it in the time allotted. So it'll be done another time. Last night I had a thought when I was like thinking about doing this video, and part of me was like, maybe I should just like unravel all the projects and I'll just have a ton of sock yarn. And then I was like, no, okay, maybe I can unravel a few. Like if I really don't think it's worth finishing, or I'm not gonna wear whatever it is that I'm making. But I think for the most part I want to finish these projects because I was really excited about them in the moment. And then we have our Sophie shawl. The Sophie shawl had the most progress, and it will probably be finished before anything else, including the December bow. This is the Sophie shawl. I've shown it many times. We are currently using... everything's getting tangled. Everything is tangling. I'm currently using this ball from the advent calendar. It's very peachy, pink, orange. And then after that, what was the one from yesterday? Oh, yesterday was the 23rd. Okay, so then after this one, we're gonna go into this one, which I showed in yesterday's video. And then we're gonna go into the blue, which I think was day 19. Which is this. So that's the plan for the Sophie shawl. So that has a total plan. So I feel like it'll be finished at some point. I definitely want to finish it like before spring because it's really cold in California right now. And I want to wear it. And I think once it gets warm, I don't think I would wear it. I don't think. I don't think I would wear it once it started to get warm. So I want to try to finish it within the next like couple weeks. What else did I start? Oh yeah, I have my sock from the very first video, the like one finished object. This sock. I made the sock when I had a plan, and it was done by day 2. Those were the days. I do still have all these instructions written down, and I think maybe when I knit the second one, I'll blend the purple and the hedgehog and the potluck yarn a little bit better and write that into the pattern. I'll try to release this as a knitting pattern because I did see some comments, people were excited about this, and I love that. Thank you so much. So I will definitely write everything down when I knit the second sock and do a testing call. Yay! What else? Oh, the blanket. I was so tempted yesterday to start knitting on this blanket because it's still in the beginning stages where it's not a lot of knitting, but I'm like in the second phase now. Like when I started, I was doing these little rectangles, and now I'm doing bigger rectangles. So I was like, maybe I could just like take a 10-minute break and like knit a panel on my blanket. I was like, no. Don't do that. You're literally wasting time. Like you're taking a break from knitting to knit something else. You should only be taking a break to rest your hands. I really want to get back to this. This is the blanket. It will be a blanket. It's like a washcloth size right now. This is the blanket. It's the Parallelogram blanket by West Knits, and I'm so excited to keep knitting this. I do have a lot of DK weight yarns now that I've been using for socks, so I think I might do a couple sections of this with just DK weight instead of the sock held double, just because I am going to run out of these potluck yarns that I'm using, because I think the lowest yardage for one color on this was maybe 100 yards, and those are only about 87. So it'll be way more than 16 colors, but I'm glad I started this, and I'm really looking forward to getting back to it and eventually having an amazing West Knits blanket made out of my Advent yarn. So many great memories. I can show you some of the yarns that I am using in that, just as a reminder, just to like look at all the Advent yarns. So this was I think the last one that we added with black. It has a lot of turquoise and red and orange. It was really different than a lot of the other ones that I got in the calendar. I also had this one in the blanket. It's a lot of cobalt and green tones. And I was holding it with this cobalt, which was left over from my Hollingbourne socks, which I made in a 52 weeks of socks video. This is another color. This is like a gray potluck, like a primarily gray potluck yarn. And then I have it wrapped up with white. This ball reminds me of the show Wednesday, because when I was like trying to figure out what to do with this hank, I had found Wednesday on Netflix. It was like I opened Netflix and it was there. I hadn't heard anything about it and I was like, what is that? And I watched like all of Wednesday that night. So this reminds me of the show Wednesday. And then I got this one the other day in the calendar, and then I had this one from a few days before that I used to make ornaments, and I was holding these together for the blanket too and getting like an orangey tone. I have my sock on the needles still. I'm excited about most of these projects. I'm like excited to get back to them and have a sec to just like focus on knitting for fun. I mean, it's always fun, but you know, when you have a deadline, it makes it a little bit more stressful. But it's not, it doesn't even feel like real stress. It's like, these are gifts for people and I don't have to do this. So I'm still having a good time. Well, this is the sock. It's the Synesthesia sock from not from 52 Weeks of Socks, from Pom Pom Quarterly. And I'll put the picture of the issue because I'm forgetting which one it was. It was like the only one that I had. I had purchased it last spring. And I just was like flipping through it and I found this sock pattern. It's a double knitting sock pattern. And it has a rib on the bottom of the foot. And then, so this is what the side I'm working now looks like. It's meant to be reversible, so there's the inside. The inside is kind of making up more like a pink base with little lines, and then I think this side is almost more squares, and it's like oh my gosh, the pattern is like slowly starting to appear. I only almost made it through the chart once, and I have to keep doing the chart over and over again until I get to the heel. And since it's double knitting, I like knit a row, and then I go back and I knit the row again, and then I knit the back with the two strands together. So it is taking a little bit longer. I've also had to really focus on the chart, and I did like draw some lines through it to mark like 10 stitches, etc. And then I saw someone said that I should like color code it a little bit. So I was thinking of doing that too. That could be really helpful. I also put stitch markers here every like 10 stitches because I was just kind of like losing my place in the chart because it's a lot of symbols. But I'm excited to get back to this, and this reminds me of what I was going to say at the beginning of the video when I opened up box 24. So this is one sock. I will need to make a second one. So I'm using one ball of the Hedgehog Fibers yarn, and I'm holding it with this Mad Tosh sock yarn that I got from the consignment yarn store. So I have a lot of this and a little of this. But I wanted another color that was like kind of similar, kind of different, because I wanted them to be like a matching pair, but a little bit different. So maybe this would be great for this. I think I'm being loud. What do you think? It would be this as one. I get so embarrassed when people walk by when I'm doing this. Okay, this would be one sock. This would be the other sock. So it'd be like a mismatch. Maybe I should do something darker. I don't know. Let me know in the comments. You think I should do this? Should I stick with hot pink? I mean, it's like kind of hot pink tones and gray, matched with the kind of more purpley pink and gray. Would this be cute? I think it could be cute. Maybe I need to wait. Well, I'll definitely wait until this is like done to decide, but that's what I'm thinking right now. Let me know your thoughts. Is that it? Are those all? Oh, I have another shawl. I think this is the last project that I started. This is the color Serenade shawl, and I really didn't get very far. And this is actually the project I was thinking about unraveling and maybe doing it in different colors. I might show it to my mom and see if she likes it. And then if she did like these colors, I would continue knitting it. I don't know that I would wear these. I think I would want that shawl in like neutrals, maybe like black, white, gray. So I don't know if I'm gonna keep knitting this. I was having a really good time like with the pattern and knitting a shawl. Now it's like gonna be, it's past gift season and it's past my mother's birthday too. So I don't have a lot of like gifting opportunities. I think if she doesn't like it, I might unravel it and use the yarn for something else. And then knit another one in neutrals. I think that's it for the yarn advent projects. I have a lot of mini hanks left. I have like a bunch that I didn't use over the past few days. I have some that like just didn't work out in their projects. I probably have about 10 unused, which is cool. I'll definitely find a use for them. I'm gonna get back to 52 weeks of socks. I'm so excited to get back to knitting 52 weeks of socks. I think the next sock I do is gonna be the morning coffee sock because it uses mini hanks. And I say this, it's kind of funny I'm saying this, but I'm not planning on using the Hedgehog Fibers mini hanks. I think the pattern uses 5 contrast colors that are mini hanks. And it makes like this beautiful gradient, but the mini hanks that I have, during the summer I bought this like 5-pack of mini hanks. They were like vintage yarns that were part of someone's stash, and someone was selling them at the yarn store because they were like clearing out the stash. So I got these primary colors. So we have like red, bright red, and then kind of like an orangey. These ones might be tricky. I might just have to keep them away from each other because they're kind of similar. Blue, green, and goldy, yellow, marigold, whatever. I was thinking it might be fun to make the morning coffee sock with these primary sock yarns. It's definitely going to change the look of this sock and the intention of like the gradient with the mini hanks, but I think it could be fun. And I did start knitting that sock with a solid sock yarn with the intention of giving it to my mom. It was like a yarn that she picked out, and you're like purling a lot in that sock in the round, and I was like not having a good time. It was just so small and a lot of purling, and it was going really slowly, and so I stopped. And I was thinking like it might be more fun to use the 5 mini hanks, because at least then I would be like just knitting a row or two and then changing colors, and it wouldn't just be like purling forever. So that was why I decided this could be fun. Let me know, or you think this is gonna be nuts, but maybe nuts in a good way? So that's the only sock pattern from the book that I have like in mind to do next. So let me know your thoughts on what I should do next. I have this speckly Malabrigo ultimate sock yarn that I would love to use, maybe with a contrast toe and heel. This one could be tricky. Let me know which pattern from the book you think this would look good with, because it's not like a space dye. It's just like white or natural base with a lot of colors like splattered all over it. So which sock should I make this with? These ones are always gonna trip me up now after the vervain sock that we did, I think in week 2, because that was like wild space dye with beautiful lace pattern, and I was like, I don't know that I like doing this. I have this yarn. I have this one that I got during the summer. It's like another natural base with purple, blue, and green. And I think this might end up being more of a space dye than like just random color. And then I have all of these little hanks that I saved throughout this series. I like didn't want to use these. For optional contrasting toes, heels, cuffs. I'm so excited to get back to just knitting regular socks. Oh, and I have this amazing fuchsia. It's so bright. It's like glowing in the camera. Which pattern? I was thinking the Linea pattern could be good for this. I had attempted to start that back in like September, and then I wasn't using yarn that was correct. I was using like skinny singles, And then I was like, I don't think this is sock yarn. I've learned so much over the summer. And now over the fall, because it's winter, like happy solstice. It was winter. It is winter. What should I do with this? Should I do the Linea socks? Is there another beautiful sock that would look great with this as just like a solid color sock with, of course, contrast toes, heels, cuffs? Thank you so much for watching my Advent adventure. And I hope you have a great holiday or just a great weekend. Whatever you're getting up to over the next week, I hope it's great and stress-free and you have a lot of time to knit or crochet or like do fiber arts of any kind. I hope you finish all your projects or start a bunch of new whips, because we all love casting on new projects when we haven't finished our existing projects. I will see you soon. Thank you so much for watching my Advent 2022 series. Bye!